Hey man, this is Eric D. Killhound1, and truth is, you don't even have to worry about this anymore. For the moment, it seems as though the ruling has been overturned. Um, and honestly, the whole realism thing that you're talking about with Rap 4, they fucking rock, dude, okay? Um, and honestly, yeah, you can get the mag-fed versions, but they do make hopper-fed versions. It's your choice. Um, the whole reason they're doing this, I think, is personally because, like you said, we wanted realism. We could be pussies and play paintball, but I mean airsoft, not paintball. um, Truth is, the whole thing with airsoft, I started playing airsoft before I played paintball, switched over to paintball. Um, Honestly, paintball is the better of the two, um, and Airsoft always whines that paintball is not realistic at all. That's their whole dominance thing. They say they're so much better because all their guns are realistic. Now, as you can see, I'm holding one of my paintball guns. This is one of my custom jobs, um, and it is an old airsoft gun. Um, Now, I cut out part of the stock on the bottom and put a paintball gun, one of my old ones, in here, and I still got to put a clip on here. It is still hopper fed, so that's the thing. Um, and honestly, with the Rap 4 guns too, um, they have the through the stock air, so you can run remote on it, which is the same thing you can do with tons of other guns to make them look more realistic. Um, yeah, they are mag fed, but that's almost a skill thing to some people, or personally I think it is, because when you're going out there with 18 round clips, and say you do put that um, CO2 tank in the stock, you can only get about 200 shots off that little tank. And say you take 10 clips with you, and plus one clip in your gun marker, like you said, I guess. I don't see how that's a big deal, but you only got 200 rounds to shoot in a full game until you're out of air and out of paint. So to me, that's a skill thing. Not only are you going to have a realistic gun, so to some people you're going to look totally dominant, um, but also it's a skill thing to some people. Um, Now personally, the only reason I would buy a Rap 4 gun is for the realistic looks, um, and the functioning, and the adaptability and the upgrades you can get for it. I mean, the T68 is a pistol to begin with, but you can upgrade it into all those rifles: the M16, the AK-47, the Frostbite sniper version. It's just they're awesome, dude. So honestly, personally, I think Rap 4 should just keep doing what they're doing. Now, to tell you the truth on the whole Germany paintball thing, I don't know why they're doing it. I have the September 2009 Faceful issue right here. I don't know if you've seen that issue of the magazine, but there's no reason they're even doing this. The rules for paintball in Germany are as applies right here. Whoever plays has to be 18. The marker can only fire up to 7.5 joules, which winds down to about 220 feet per second. So they're shooting way slower than we are. They have to be 18 to play, and personally, it's ridiculous because this kid was only 17, so he couldn't play. And he had absolutely nothing to do with the sport. Now, they're saying that supposedly he did own a paintball gun, and supposedly he played violent video games. So honestly, that's the same stuff that people have been blaming and this kind of stuff on for years. Columbine, Virginia Tech, Red Lake, I believe that's the name of it, up here in Minnesota. I live in Minnesota. all that was blamed on violent video games and simulation games and stuff like that. At this point in time, Germany's even wanting to ban. I mean, they're wanting to ban everything that simulates killing. So I don't know what's going on. Now, the whole reason for this being is this kid who walked into one of his classrooms and killed 16 of his classmates and himself. That's why they're doing it, which I don't know how paintball winds up being part of this, but it does, and that just sucks for them. Honestly, I don't think it's going to spread with all the school shootings we've had in the United States. I mean, stuff like that's always going to happen, but with what's happened, and paintball has never been brought up, it's always been violent video games or whatever. I don't think that paintball could ever be, with the amount of people that in the U.S. that play. I believe the number put out by APG in 2006 or 2007, there's like 10 million players in the U.S. alone. Okay, honestly, I don't think with that many players, I don't think that's ever gonna happen in the U.S. Never. So I mean, there would be an entire uproar, and the cops couldn't do anything about it. Now, like you said, I think I mentioned this earlier. I did mention this earlier. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's snowing outside on Halloween. So, the thing with paintball guns is, even when you have a realistic marker like a RAP4, even if you have it magazine fed and with the CO2 tank in the back, a paintball barrel is much bigger than any gun barrel on any gun. Especially when you're talking, okay, an M16 is a 223. No, it's not much off a 22 caliber. So you're looking at a paintball barrel that is 3 times the size of that. So, I mean, yeah, in the heat of a battle, a cop's gonna screw that up, but why are you going to point a gun at a cop? Okay, if a cop shows up and you have your paintball gun out and you have a gun like that, first reaction is gonna be either put your hands up in the air, or you bend over, put your gun on the ground, stand back up, and just submit. Okay, you're not gonna try to stand up unless you're crazy. You're not gonna try to stand up to a cop with a 9mm Glock with your paintball gun. Okay, that's just stupid. So in my personal opinion, this isn't a problem with reality, with realistic looks, nothing like that. It's a problem with political parties and the government trying to just be an asshole again. So I don't think this issue needs to be worried about in the United States. I don't think anything like that could ever happen. Just because of the sheer mass of people that play paintball in the U.S. If you want to check out this issue more, just look up the Faceful issue, the September 2009 Faceful issue. Or, you know, if you want to know more about it, I can send you screen prints or whatever of the issue, or I can do a reading of it on here or whatever and send you another video response, whatever. Just if you want to know more about it, ask me questions or whatever. But at this point in time, for Germany, it seems that the whole issue has been turned over and that it's not going to happen. So, just to calm me down, don't need to be so pissed off. Hopefully you aren't too pissed about me after I've done this whole video and talk about this crap, but honestly, just don't worry about it. It's just the government goofing off again. So that's it.